Okay. So what are we doing
All right.
for
Basic easiest one. I was gonna say state of esports,
state?
because this is the beginning. This is where it begins for us.
eSports.
This is
Okay.
where it begins.
The state of esports. That seems so
Generic,
broad of a topic.
damn fucking straight.
It's
But
too broad. You
but
gotta narrow it
but we'll look
down.
into it. Okay, we'll moderate. We'll moderate. All right. So obviously, esports is this growing thing, and it probably really, I won't say really blew up, but I would say the past year has probably shown the largest gains in esports. Right, right. The number of games jumping in, bigger prize pools.
I think definitely the last year or two, you've seen a more what we can say like a mainstreaming
Yeah,
of the esports genre. Like you see more, what do you want to call like actual sports figures getting involved
that's true.
into esports in general, right? I mean, I think I would say it started off with League, but now you have other players like or other people like Shaq getting involved in like fucking what was it
CS:GO. Yeah, I
CS:GO,
think is
right?
it team or he's sponsoring a team or some shit like that.
Yeah, like at first it was just like small people. Rick Fox has gets his own League of Legends team,
Yeah.
Rick
Who's the
Fox.
other
and
guy? Mark Cuban.
yeah, Mark Cuban I think is dipping his fingers a bit. I don't know if he's actually owns one right now, but
Yeah, but how do you feel about these guys who may not have that same passion, but just seeing it as a money grab to hey, let me get
here,
my shit billions in here before
here's the thing. I don't think those guys are money grabbing. I honestly think there's a aspect of it that they see mirrors that the sport that they used to play or played or are involved in.
okay.
So there must be some to them. It's like okay, you know, esports. I can see maybe they lack the athletics of traditional sports, but I can see the competitive nature of it, and that is where I can also see what you could say as like where uh, humans, like to
Compete. It,
compete. Yeah, like they
like the
like to
spirit is there, right?
exactly. And I think all those like all those people like we just mentioned, they see that in this, and that's why they want to get involved. And on top of that, it doesn't hurt them because they're gonna make some money out of it.
Yeah. I,
No, right. And I feel like because only recently, yeah, in the last year, I think maybe they see it as that growing, in the next they probably see this big boom coming in the next 3 to 4 years in this industry where it is going to be a money making, and they want to be invested early so that when it starts peaking and climaxing, they're
big
like
payouts.
yeah, they can get big payouts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
and I
I
think
probably agree with that.
I can't really see Shaq market. Like I can't really see guys as I've been a hardcore gamer all my life and this is what my
no, I
passion
mean
kind of thing. I can't really see that.
you're
Same.
right, but I think I see it more along the lines of they could see it as okay. I see two people or two teams competing in something that resembles
A
some
sport.
form of conflict or competition,
Competition.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am going to invest some money into this because, like you said just a bit ago, yeah, they'll make some money out of this, right? But on top of that, they're going to, I think, help foster growth in something that other people are very passionate about.
True, true. Maybe they know somebody or they've met people and they realize, wow, you were like me when I was younger, and
They
kind
def
of
yeah,
almost like giving them their shot. Or what, fine, I will go invest in you.
Well, the whole thing, I mean, Rick Fox, the only reason why I got involved was because his son took him to a League of Legends match, right?
yeah. So he's in it for the money. He probably saw all the people there.
Yeah, he probably saw the people there, but he probably also recognized, like, listen, these kids they show that same competitive spirit that
Yep.
maybe once upon a time I did when
Yeah.
I joined,
Actually,
the NBA.
I think that's another thing I want to point out. Why I feel this is also the pioneer days. Without a doubt, I do think the gamer market will one day be bigger or equal to the athletic market.
I don't know about bigger.
Yeah,
I
but
think it's going
wow.
to.
So are
definitely
you
up there.
okay? So are you saying like when you mean the
Like the
market?
like the kids now, the kids growing up now when they're like don't not just to mention us, but the kids who are like 8, 10, 12, 14, when these people are like 20 something year olds and they have expendable cash, not that they already don't, but when they have even more of it, I think the gaming culture by then will be just so much bigger because of what esports is gonna do for it, or what they're gonna do for esports when that time comes.
Yeah, I think it's going to be huge. I think esports is just
It's starting.
approaching critical mass.
Yeah, the
Type of
100th
thing.
Mookie effect, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean it's approaching that time where it just explodes. I think it's going to be, like you said, in the next, I don't know, 5 to 10 years, it's going to explode really big. And part of the reason is because now the generation that has the money and that are in careers and everything now have grown up with esports or
Yeah.
grown up
Grow up
with
with gaming.
gaming
Yep,
in general.
I would say our
Exactly.
generation, even Gen Xers, so they're kind of the ones that pioneered gaming at their age.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, they're the ones that grew up with it, but now they're also the ones that are in these positions of
Like financially
influence.
backing it too. Yeah, that too.
Exactly.
I will
So
say this though, the thing about esports that probably which took it here is definitely it can only be in it can only be in this time era right now. Like now is the time, because now is the time is probably where we're at the pinnacle or the climax of social media, where you can where you don't even have to, like back in the day, even if you like basketball, but in order to watch it, you'd have to physically go to an arena, buy a ticket, and watch it. Like you couldn't, that's probably the only way that you'd be able to watch sports or enjoy sports. Maybe if you're lucky, you can watch it on TV, maybe. But nowadays, for esports, any Joe, everyone has the internet, everyone has a computer, and it's just social. It's so easily accessible through
Absolutely.
social media
I
that it just garners that many more. Like it's just easy more accessible for everyone. And I
yeah,
think
that's a big one.
That's
I think
true.
the accessibility of
huge.
any of the esports titles in comparison to
Actual TV
sending your
sports,
kid to
right?
fucking hockey,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
right? Where it's going to cost you thousands and thousands of dollars, not only thousands of dollars, but hours and hours of your time to bring your kid to arenas and
That's true.
tournaments. And
So the only other thing I would say that maybe it's, and I'm sure the barriers are breaking down, is this whole esport. In terms of if you're to ask your parents, can I participate in hockey? Can I go to hockey camp? And yeah, but they parents would encourage that all day long, no problem. Whatever sport, whatever that you want to play, basketball, baseball, whatever, I will support you. You want to be a hockey player? Yes, I will go in and support you. We'll bring you to camp and do all that lovely crap ass shit.
yeah,
Nowadays, and and that further feeds and fuels this sports genre, this sports industry, right? But then at the same time, so this is where I feel like obviously we're not there yet, but for the esports, I feel like maybe in society, right now, when you talk about quote unquote esports, it doesn't garnish that same respect as sports yet.
True. But
So
again,
there-
pioneer days, right? It's the
No, no,
pioneer
right,
days.
right. I mean, it's slowly, and I feel maybe maybe it's popular and trending, but in terms of getting that grassroots, that foothold in society, where no, this is part of society, just like how sports is just part of kids' life, like
Yeah.
yeah,
It's gonna get there. And like I said,
Yeah.
when those kids are like 20 years old, that will be the norm.
yeah. The only thing I'm scared of is what I'll call the poker effect,
Oh,
which is
true.
poker exploded. All
Yeah.
right, we all know this. Poker exploded for a good 5 to 10 years, I'll say.
yeah.
Sure,
Then
sure.
it kind of just went by
I
the
agree.
wayside, and it's
Yeah.
a little.
See-
It's still there. It's still
But not-
pretty popular.
It's
but
not in the limelight. It's not as hype
Yeah.
as it used to be.
Exactly. I mean, in its heyday, you would think it's going to be the next big sport. It would. I would say UFC also kind of had the same effect.
I agree. I was gonna point that one out as well.
Yeah, it's not by any means small.
Yeah, but it's definitely nowhere near as it's not NBA, it's not NFL, it's not anything that big.
Exactly. It's not. It's
Well-
not in part of people's psyches yet.
Yeah.
There,
type of thing.
there, it was at a time where
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what Scott's saying. There was a hype moment.
yeah, it was hype, and I guess that just goes to show what marketing can do. Yes, it could make your thing explode, but at the same time, it still lacks if you don't do it properly, that longevity, that sustainability.
Perhaps
It
I
goes
think
away.
yeah, I do have the same fear that he mentioned for esports as well. But where I do feel esports might have that advantage though, is that this is a pro and con. I am for or against this, but in gaming culture, it's constantly moving. So even if one game drops, it's not difficult for another game to take its place. So maybe a single game might have the poker effect. Like for example, I want to point out like Halo. You know, Halo 2 blew up and then it's nowhere now.
So
But-
basically, yeah, what you're saying
Yeah,
is like,
another game will come take its place,
yeah.
right?
So it like esports itself won't die, but maybe the game itself will die.
Exactly. So I think that's what will happen with esports. Which again, I kind of am against that, but I guess if that's the nature of esports, then that's the nature of esports. And any games that stick around incredibly long are probably your true esports, the ones that are obviously the best designed. Right? Just by the again, it's just by the nature of the market, just by the nature of this industry.
Yeah,
So-
I think that's that's pretty much the case.
Yep.
I think another better esport will take up the mantle of a shittier one.
Exactly. And again, the other beauty is because this is the pioneer days. If esports really does begin to show its color, show its roots, game developers will start jumping on saying, "Okay, well now we see what games are esport worthy. Let's start making games to actually appease the culture." And not only that, maybe developers even jump on and support the tournaments, support the leagues and everything. Right?
Do you think it'll be so? So you're saying that they will be as big, if not just as big as any of the major sports out there right now?
Okay, maybe I'm going too far, but it will definitely be big.
I think you need a good company like to back it. You need someone who's willing to support it and push it through. Even
Google.
yeah,
I'm cool
you
with
need
you,
like
yeah.
a huge ass company like to push it even through the shittiest of times,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, right now, you really only have 3 companies who have, I would say, what you could call them as dedicated esports,
Which are?
like type of companies. Like you have Riot, you have Blizzard,
Yeah.
and I think you have Capcom. Blizzard I count as Activision Blizzard, so that includes Call of Duty.
Ooh, Capcom.
Because
Okay.
those are your 3 biggest ones. There's, I mean, not to say they're all of
It-
equal size, because at the end of the day, I think Riot's the biggest one by far. I mean,
Easily.
you know what? I left out a company I think they deserve to be there too, which is Valve.
I was gonna say yeah. Valve's a big one.
Yeah, I completely forgot about Dota. Valve is huge.
Yeah.
Dota's massive. They're doing a good job pushing it, but the way they do, I don't know. The way
I feel Dota 2 is more prize pool, and that's what attracts a lot of the players.
Yeah, and I think they're at the end of the day, I still love out of everything I've watched, I still love Riot's production value the most.
Absolutely, I
So
agree.
that's the thing about Dota that I watched some Dota games, but yeah, you're right. I feel like they do what they do to appease that niche like gamers, but not necessarily maybe appease to like the people who
The spectators, right?
like casual gamers
Yes.
who want to go and I want to see a show or I want to click on this. Oh my, and then they have that production value that like grabs you, you know.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I feel that's true for actually a lot of the other esports games except League of Legends.
Which I feel like I think you need to go that route because that's how you're gonna get all your fan base. That's how you're gonna get the hype going.
It also puts a certain bit of professionalism, I think, to
Yep.
to the the esports in general. I mean, you can't have. I mean, as much as I, as a gamer, don't care, right? But you can't have that type of unprofessionalism you see in some of the other leagues.
No, you can't because we game. So these I'm gonna call them underground production value. We respect that. Oh, because you guys are true gamers. But like in the limelight, if you're talking about let's compare them to the grand stage of let's get to the point where they're on that same level of NBA basketball or whatever. That's like you need at least the professionalism and that production value to at least garnish that respect.
No, exactly. I mean, it's no different from me watching like, what's like a shittier version of like watching like an AHL game versus the NHL, right?
Yep.
I mean, the production value between the two are like night and day.
Yeah, and I feel like Riot does do that well. Even their other leagues in like other countries, like in the South America or Korea, even those production values, it's very professional. Like they're very level set in all of them. Like that, and that's and they're selling their brand pretty much. Like this is what you can expect from Riot.
Yep.
You know when
And I think that's what's pushing.
Yep.
If anything, League of Legends is still top esports to me. I mean, I know people want to say Overwatch.
Oh,
now
now
it's coming up.
I want to agree that LoL is okay. You know what? Now that we're on that topic, though, here, so I will list out top games of 2016 based on I think earnings, and maybe player. But no, this is probably earnings. So it goes Dota 2. They're at fucking 9.2 million, man.
you mean the game has earned them
Like earn them or players.
players.
I don't know. Maybe there's a prize pool. I'm not quite sure. It's just no, yeah, prize money.
That makes sense.
Okay, so
Yeah.
9.2 million Dota 2.
Yeah.
CS:GO 7.6 million. Halo 5. I'm actually surprised because I haven't heard much about this one. But Halo 5 Guardians is at 2.6 million. League of Legends at 2.5, but maybe it's because it's still early. Heroes of the Storm, which I'm actually quite surprised to, is 2.4 million.
Yeah, I think there's a big following for Heroes of the Storm.
Man, that's surprising.
I don't follow it,
Yeah,
but
neither do I.
those games right there though are what I would call so far top notch
Yeah. Well, okay, yeah.
esports games. None of those I would say fuck that.
Well, I
There
agree.
is-
I agree. I agree. All right, let me keep going down the list. I'll at least hit 15. Smite is 6 with 1.6 million.
That's retarded.
StarCraft 2 is 1.2 million. Hearthstone, I almost want to say fuck you for this one, but Hearthstone is 1.2 million as well.
Oh my god! If you say Angry Birds, I'm gonna punch you in the
No,
face.
fuck that. That's definitely not esports. COD Black Ops 3 is 1.1 million. World of Tanks. I am very surprised it's still kicking it.
I actually played that game.
Yep.
Yeah?
300,000.
Yeah, it's actually pretty fun.
It's fun. I agree, but not my type of game. But
It's not. Yeah,
I
it's
agree.
not. I don't play
It's
anymore.
fun.
But it was fun though. It's fun.
know,
I can
yeah.
see why people like it.
I played the other one too. World of Ships.
Oh, I
haven't
played that one.
that.
Is it similar
Yeah.
to Tanks, but just ships? I guess?
Yeah, it's just ships. You control a battleship or whatever the fuck you want to. I mean, whatever. I mean, it's similar, but yeah, go on.
Alright, MKX, Mortal Kombat X, a little under 300k. Heroes of Newrath at number 12.
On.
I'm kind of surprised with this one too.
Yeah, here's the thing. I think once we pass down,
Yeah, after 10, not even that, after COD,
5.
yeah, it kind of went down a little bit.
It's a big jump in the price
Well,
pool.
the main reason I wanted to get to 15 is to say so 13 is Smash Bros. Melee,
Yeah,
14 is Street Fighter 5, and 15 is Overwatch.
yeah.
Well, that's new.
Yeah,
Overwatch is new.
it's new. It's also, and some of these games, it's also still like only half a year through. Maybe some of the bigger tournaments happen later on.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised about that list.
Yeah, same here.
I know Dota is supposed to pay the most, at least in terms of a prize pool. Now, here's the thing: I know they have a prize pool, but do they have the same type of infrastructure in place for the players as
Like a League of Legends or something, as Riot,
where
right?
where Riot will pay them a salary?
Yeah, that I don't
They're
know.
on a team.
Yeah. I don't know. I've on some Dota quote unquote team houses and stuff like that. They're not quite as I don't think they're on the same level as the Riot guys in terms of professional players. And a lot of the Dota teams, they are a part of a bigger team, like a CLG, for example.
Yeah.
They'll have like a Dota, they'll have a CS:GO, and they'll have a Hearthstone player, blah blah blah, and all under the same group.
Yeah.
So in terms of that, like I don't think that pool is as big as League of Legends. But you're right, a prize pool. I've seen some of these tournaments, and they give away quite a bit of money.
Yeah, Dota 2 is ridiculous.
Yeah. But Dota 2, I don't know, like unlike League, like so this is the one thing that I do like about Riot is that they promote their own leagues.
Yes.
So this is something that I don't know if Dota has, like I don't think Dota actually promotes that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I feel like how Dota works is there's like a bunch of leagues, and you get points for qualifications to
Those leagues,
to their version of Worlds,
right?
and then
Is that-
the Worlds is the one where you win the fat cash.
Is that run by Dota?
The Worlds is. I don't know about the other leagues
At
though.
least, okay.
Wait, as in Dota 2 or Valve
Dota, like Valve runs the
runs a big one? The
what
biggest
runs the
tournament?
big one. It's called the International, I think.
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, I see that. Actually, I saw the website. The international.
So that's the one thing I like League is that they actually like for example, if you want to be a professional player
Yeah.
in League of Legends,
You
you need to join the League of Legends league. Like that.
yeah, you need to be LCS or the version of LCS in another country.
Exactly, which is run by Riot. So they kind of run it, and it's kind of in house, and then so they have all that, you know. So it makes sense for them to spruce it up to make it look professional because it's their own thing, right? So I think they do that very well.
Yeah, I like I know it all sounds very biased because we all watch League,
Yes.
but I feel like they do it the best. I mean,
No, I
I've never
totally agree.
been captured by any presentations outside of League of Legends in terms of like, a gaming
Yeah,
event.
I totally agree. I've watched Dota. I've watched StarCraft a lot.
Yeah.
And I've watched. I've seen some of their production values, and yeah, it doesn't even come close. StarCraft only in Korea
StarCraft's
though.
some. Oh yeah, I was about to say
Yeah,
StarCraft's
StarCraft-
kind of decent.
Only in Korea.
Yeah, StarCraft in Korea was pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But in terms of like on a world international scale, like in terms of like that, nothing does it better than Riot does.
Yeah,
I guess I have to agree.
Yeah, like you can actually go to Riot and like have a job as an analyst or as a commentator. Like you can actually have a job and career in that
hmm
and work for Riot. Like that itself is crazy if you think about that. Like I can't go to like fucking hey Blizzard, can I be a commentator and make enough money as a career? Like, you probably couldn't do that, I don't think. So kind of nuts that they have. And Riot, and again, Riot does international worldwide, so they have commentators and analysts and all those all around the world doing their leagues.
And they do a good job building
all
a
do,
hype. Like the hype that's involved in all of their tournaments is
It's definitely up
absolutely
there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely up there.
Like, yeah, production is huge. I almost want to believe that they have like when they hire people, I feel like there's almost like they all take the same they train all their people, like all the commentators, all the like to to be a certain way or to say certain things or to like I feel like that's almost schooled in house as well for Riot. Like it's not just random people they're just picking out off the street and coming to work for us and stuff. No. You're gonna come here, you're gonna go to our school, we're gonna train you, and you're gonna be the best fucking League of Legends commentator ever.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree.
They got that shit going. All right. I was gonna list out the games that are up on Twitch. So this is almost by like fan favorites. So obviously we know, and this is right now. I don't know what else is going on.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah, it is up there. But I'm not gonna count that. That shit ain't no esport.
Oh, it's an esport. Oh yeah, it's like I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna parkour while I catch these.
It's just people watching it.
All right, so I see League, Hearthstone, Overwatch. That's literally top 3 right now. For whatever reason, NBA 2K16's up there. It's probably one guy streaming, or 2 guys, whatever. Fuck that. And Dota 2. Then I see COD, Black Ops 3, and then CS:GO.
So this is the other thing that I think is the flip side to when you mention the games that are prize pool money heavy. So
because it's just money at the end of the day, right? It could just be like one or a handful of rich fuckers just throwing money at it.
Yep. Whereas this, I feel like this is more.
It's a bit more pure. It's a bit more true.
It is a bit more pure, and this is more like, okay, well, how many people are going to go and watch? You know,
and I think it's also more like what's the buzz on it? Like if you had to get 100 gamers, what games are they talking about the most?
Yep. And so this is a good indication of like the fan base of the games in terms of like watching.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, but like League of Legends, the one that boggles my mind always is Hearthstone, which I don't. I mean, I play the game, but but to watch it, it's just
boring as fuck to me, man. But that's me. That's me. Okay, my other kicker is this. The reason why I don't want to give Hearthstone that respect is that I can't compare Hearthstone to all these other games.
Yeah,
I just can't.
But here's the thing about Hearthstone. I think the reason why people like watching is because you don't need what do you call it? You don't need
gamer skill.
Skill, like in terms of
because it's not a gaming It's not a gamer's game. It's a card game, right?
Yeah,
It's
you don't
just
need skill in
overall.
terms
It's
of
just generic
micro.
competitive skill. Yeah.
You need the skill in playing cards. Like you have to have the mindset, right, to play the proper cards.
Yeah. But
But
that's not a gaming skill. That's straight up card game.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Like
it'd be
you,
no different from watching Magic the Gathering, which I guess like people love because I love Magic the Gathering too. I mean,
but would you
I
watch it though?
would I watch it? Hell, I've
Yeah,
watched
I
you
think he
play.
has.
What was it? Yu-Gi-Oh,
Yeah, no,
man.
that's true. We
Come
fucking
on.
watch you play
Okay.
Yu-Gi-Oh, man.
Guys, it's the same thing, right?
I guess.
There is some fun in watching it if you understand the game.
Yeah. And the other thing, I'm also gonna say Hearthstone has one up on all these other people, which is why it's still top 5 in like on Twitch. Because it's a card game on your phone that you can play on your phone, your audience is likely to be so much larger.
Oh yeah,
Right. Like
I
you're-
mean,
Yeah.
just the amount of people that can play the game, right?
Yeah. It's way more accessible. So I kind of put an asterisk on Hearthstone. Personally, I don't like to give that respect. I don't want to call it an esport.
So it definitely is not a game where yeah, I feel like even though yes, quote unquote is technically a video game.
Yes.
You're right. I feel like this could be this. I could play this in person if I had real cards.
Yeah. Literally, if I just had
Yeah,
a deck of
like I
cards,
could-
you could play this in person almost.
So it's almost like, it's almost like you're porting a real life, game into like a real life game from reality to
Digital.
to digital. Does
Yeah.
that count? So it's almost like when people play like NBA 2K6. Like I feel like, well,
There's basketball. There's real life
it's
basketball.
not a video. I mean, it's a video game version of
Yeah.
basketball, but it's still basketball in the end. I
I,
just feel like,
I agree. I agree the same with sports games. I don't want to call sports games esports because
Yeah.
there's a redundancy in that.
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean. But like, I'm not playing League of Legends in real life. I'm not like fucking like
Because you literally
How do you
can't.
know?
I'm not like destroying minions and
Have you
like
tried?
I'm going to work.
You're not living until you tried.
I'm like last hitting people as they walk to work. Like I'm not doing that shit. It's just so yeah. So that's I put Hearthstone in the same kind of category as that, where it's a video game by definition, but in its core, it's not really. I wouldn't put it in the same category.
Yeah, I gotta agree. All right. We're hitting the minutes here. So just to leave off on this one, if you had to pick 3 games right now of 2016, what would be your top 3 games? What would be your top 3 games for esports?
That will be the like
Whatever
what I
your
want or what I feel
what you want or what you feel really deserves to be the top. For whatever reasons you got, we can go through it another day.
top 3.
Yeah, go.
I still feel like League of Legends will be number 1. I feel it's a simple game, casual game. It has that same poker and structure where easy enough for anyone to go and pick it up and play and have a good time. But dynamic enough where like there's a difference between pro players and amateur players.
Uh-huh.
And again, the production value by all means blows everything apart in the water. I can't see any other game getting to that level in this year or next year, at all.
True that. 2 and 3.
At all. I would like to see Mortal Kombat. Not Mortal Kombat. I would like to see Street Fighter 5 get up there too, just because I am a hardcore Street Fighter fan at heart. Born and raised, grew up with that shit. So I would love to see that on that same staging level. And number 3, fuck man, I don't even have a number 3. But if I had to, I kind of want to see Gears of War when that comes out to be up there, just because we grew up with that. From 1 to now, I would love to see the love in that. Get to the esports level. I saw that first season when they first had it. I don't know if you saw that too.
Ultimate
With
Edition? Yeah.
Yeah.
That
When
was
they had
pretty
the first
sick.
season.
That's solid.
And that was pretty good. I have to, and if they're done correctly, I feel like there's something that you can build into something. So that'll be my number 3.
All right, Scott, go.
I would say
Your
League
top
of Legends, number 1.
easily.
Easily, this
Yeah.
game is too good. All right, when you have some of the best people in the industry, working for this game, it's going to be number 1. Nothing beats it. Number 2, you know what? I'm gonna give it to Overwatch. I think it's gonna be number 2. Yeah, come on. I think this game is gold, man. Blizzard struck gold again. This game is fucking amazing. I mean, not Overwatch for console because that's fucking scrub. It's got to be PC Master Race. So, all right, Overwatch is gonna absolutely destroy it. Too many heroes. Therefore, allowing a lot of people to display their skills involved in the game.
True that.
All right. So I think it'll be very fun to watch. I think it's going to be number 2. Number 3, It's probably going to be a toss up between Dota 2 or CS:GO. I mean, just strictly by numbers, people play those games a lot.
Yeah, they're up
because
there.
I already have one MOBA on the list. I'm just going to say CS:GO. So yeah.
Ah, that's fair. That's fair. It's definitely up there. For me, I guess undoubtedly League of Legends. You know, for all the same reasons. I would definitely want to see Street Fighter 5 as well, but I don't think it's ever gonna get that same hype. It's never gonna be a top game. So my number 2, I actually have to agree with Scott. It's probably gonna be Overwatch. It's gonna be Overwatch. I gotta agree. It's sucking me in. I'm playing on console too. It's sucking me in. There's some solid design behind it.
As you said, I should buy the game on computers. What you're saying?
Yes, honestly, yes. And if you did, we probably have to make that decision. Yo, let's just jump to Overwatch.
Yeah. I would pick up another game just so I could play it on PC.
Yeah, no doubt, I probably would too. Because honestly, Overwatch, we could literally do a whole other cast on Overwatch. And yeah, I'm also probably gonna agree with Scott. Counter-Strike, CS:GO, it ain't going anywhere. This is hands down one of the longest lasting esports.
Yep.
And it's still kicking it hard with the numbers.
Yeah.
But I do want to say where I kind of agree with Rick. I hope another shooter, whether it be Overwatch or Gears of War or some other future shooter, will knock out Counter-Strike. Because I can't help but feel there's something very old about Counter-Strike that it just needs something new and fresh to it.
What, you don't think terrorists are relevant anymore?
Nah, not at all. It's just the core design itself is just, it needs more.
To CS:GO, be a Black Lives Matter edition.
Yes.
Black Lives Matter.
Cops versus Black Lives Matters.
Come on.
Keeping it with the times.
Come on, this. Okay. Here's my 2 cents of that. Not that I don't like the game. I played the Black, but it hasn't changed or evolved.
Yeah. No, and that's a pro and con though. I agree with you. Yeah, it doesn't need to though, because it is that good. It is that pure of a shooter that people give it that respect and play competitively.
So yes, I will agree. It's definitely one of the pure shooters that are like, it doesn't have all the flashy gimmicks like some other, like COD and them have. That I will agree with. It's good.
But for the same reasons, right?
Yeah, but come on. I mean, you can't tell me that this game is gonna last in terms of popularity, especially that esports is getting bigger and bigger now. I can almost guarantee there's going to be a shooter that takes its place for sure.
Ooh, that's gonna be another cast. That's gonna be
another cast. This is what we got.
For sure.
I think we're pretty much all in agreement.
But I mean, I've seen some of the fucking streams, and it's
boring as fuck to me.
Watch, man. And it doesn't even look good. Like the game doesn't even look that great.
Yeah, but
this is esports though, man. It doesn't have to look good.
Exactly. Not only that.
I'm a spectator though. I guess so. I don't play the game, so I guess I don't have that same love. Like, and I'm looking for.
Yeah, but it's no different from watching like golf, man. Come on. Like, if you don't love the sport of golf, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? The guy just spent like 30 minutes like eyeing that ball and figure out where it's gonna go.
Because I was back in the day, CS was like probably the only shooting game. If you wanted to play, you play CS. Like that's probably like so by default, it's gonna be the most popular game. And I guess
it's carried, man.
Something in there, and I kudos to that game. I mean, whatever has made it popular then, it's just popular now because it has a
killing terrorists.
Has a core shooter, and I can say the same thing for Street Fighter. I mean,
I was gonna mention Street Fighter as well. It's like 27 years, 28 years.
Yep, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But
it's not gonna be number one either.
But at least they've updated it.
No, Street Fighter will be number one when the fans want it to be number one.
It will be number one of fighters. I will give it that.
Oh, yeah.
That's
when the players want it to be number one, it will be number one. I think the only thing holding them back right now is they like that underground feel.
Actually, I'm gonna say I think it's the 1v1 factor. Like that's probably a reason why StarCraft isn't up there anymore either.
No.
I think it's
come
the 1v1.
on. Hearthstone is more popular than Street Fighter. It's 1v1.
Well, Hearthstone's also a card game.
Come on.
All right. Don't worry. Next time on State of Esports, we'll know more.
Yes, Rick's gay.